I don't need to know all of this other stuff. Oh, a bunch of Christians here trying to make me Christian. I love Christians, by the way. But obviously, the ones who just go, yeah, do you know what? I totally get what you mean. Yeah. And everyone else that gets triggered and is like, why don't you like Christians? You should love them. They're the best of this, that, and everything. I'm like, yeah. See what I mean? Can you just give me what the freaking hell? It's not even giving me the meaning of it. Just tell me what the freaking Antichrist means. Can I ask ChatGPT? Let me ask ChatGPT. Can you please define what an Antichrist is? Please. I don't want to freak out, you know what I mean? I call him Jeep now. I just like open the app and I'm like, hey Jeep, can you show me how to make this thingy recipe or something like that? Okay, the term Antichrist has different meanings. Okay, so that's, okay, fair enough. So biblical... In the Christian theology, the Antichrist is typically understood as an opponent of Christ who will appear before the end of the world. I'm going to have to do some more research on this. Like, what is the Antichrist? In the most plain definition, it's everything that Christ is, but the opposite. But is the Antichrist not synonymous with the devil? Is it not synonymous with the devil? Or is that someone else? Not exactly. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna need to do some more research here because you remember in the last video, or in a lot of videos now, I keep referring to America having created a capitalist system that essentially does the job that it needs to whilst churning out toxic waste, like the Professor Farnsworth's machine in Futurama. Now at the back comes this toxic waste and stuff, right? And I'm like, from that toxic waste, a creature has been born, and it is the shriveled orange. He's like the monster that has risen from the most toxic of all toxic waste that capitalism has generated. And in that same way, I'm now thinking, oh my God, did they do that with Christianity too? And I do not mean traditional necessarily Christianity and those people who actually have, you know, found God and stuff or whatever. I'm talking about extreme Christianity, extreme religion. And not necessarily, they don't have to be extremists, but it's extreme religion to the point where it's like, you know, a fetus has more rights than the living, breathing, lifelong human carrying the fetus. Those kinds of extreme views, right? It kind of... I'm starting to see now, oh my gosh, did they do that with Christianity? Create this big machine, this system that is designed to churn out the kind of person that it needs to feed off of. But in the background, there's just been, you know, the byproduct, this toxic waste, all of the trauma, the toxicity, the negativity, the shadow side of these things that people have just been put into the side. We've been ignoring it. We've been not... addressing it, you know? That's like that small town mindset that I always talk about, right? People call it small town values. No. It's small town mindset. It's not small town values. A small town mindset is somebody's coming in from the outside. That must mean that they're different. If you do not follow the conformity of the way that we all live our lives, and us all going to church on a Sunday, and us all putting up the same decorations for Christmas, and us all cutting our grass at the same... I mean, it's essentially, it's like a homeowners association. And if you do anything differently or outside of the box or that does not conform to the rules of that population, that small population, you're isolated. It's not values. And it's just like through all of that lying, through all of that masking, from all of that trying to ignore our own toxicity and our own issues and our own problems and stuff like that. And it's all built up in the background. It's all just piled. This toxic waste is just piled and piled and piled. And from it has grown the worst possible creature. Like a Scooby-Doo episode. Oh no, they're usually like somebody in disguise, aren't they? Although I suppose Donald Trump is kind of in disguise. Because although it's like although the metaphor is that he is the monster that's grown from the toxic waste, he is also an 8 to 12-year-old boy wearing a mask.